Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 3, where I feel like we have really sort of established our base at this point. We have a reasonable income of Conclave influence and raw materials. We're a little bit short on labor, but we certainly have ways of getting more. How far south does this map go? Okay, so this is like right at the bottom.
I hear the Widowmaker.
Yeah, part of me does just kind of want to like push down the coast and claim this whole, just have this whole corner for ourselves. Who is this player? The Knights of Caledor. I cannot imagine. This is an elf faction. It's very difficult to imagine them being okay with us being around.
Face me on the battlefield.
Yeah, minus 105 and falling. Even though we have common enemies. Elves don't even like the good guy dwarves. How big are you? Are these your only two settlements? They are. I wonder. That might be our move. Just pushing south here might in fact be the way to go. Anyway, what else? What are we doing this turn? We're still waiting a couple of turns on recruitment for Baruch's army. Drazoth is in pretty good shape, and I guess this is the time for pressing forward. I don't want to be in full march mode. I don't think there's any reason to expose ourselves that much. We just need to make sure that we are going to be within one movement of pig barter. Okay, so what do we see here? That's like a stack and a third.
I ain't doing that.
And we can't exactly see what all they have. I moved just enough. We're kind of like trying to ambush them in the open on the road here, which is why that percentage is so low. But if I can just not appear on the map long enough for them to make one bad move, we can try to seize. Alright, so you're just waiting, and what do we need to do in our settlements? We're still waiting on the raw materials for the upgrade to the Dragon Fang mount. But I can upgrade some of these, right? Yeah, we should definitely put money into our money-making buildings. Except this one requires raw materials. We still have 1,100 income, and we're planning to finish a War Machine with 250 upkeep, a Bull Centaur with 350 upkeep, a Great Taurus with another 300, and then on top of that, I wanted to pull in another 500 upkeep worth of units. We are not quite there yet. We're getting closer. There's also this. Yeah, we do need to take on that quest battle. Can I teleport to it? It is often the case. I might have to walk there. It is often the case with quest battles that you're allowed to teleport your main army over to them, but I guess maybe that's not the case here. Well, in any case, let's deal with pig barter because we're actively at war with this player, and then we'll turn around and handle that. Let's go ahead and pick up resource extractors, not because I want this, but because we want access to what is beyond. Next turn we'll be able to claim another seat in the Conclave, and I think we're probably good then from here, at least for the moment. Where's that Skaven clan that we're close to? How do they feel about us? We made a couple of agreements, and having treaties with another player increases their diplomatic opinion of you. So yeah, trending toward 13. What I'm wondering is,
between me and you,
yeah, when we can make this work. What if I gave you 238 gold? Okay, a trade agreement. Very, very good. This is going to make back the amount of gold we're spending on it within 2 turns, and then it's just gravy from there. And also, it's me not having to fight Tretch Craventail, hopefully. So that's going to boost our opinion with them. Another 10-ish points. Okay. It would be good to have a friend. The world yields to those who master the winds of magic. Great bolts of whatever from the heavens. Okay, for 5 turns. Lots of extra magic for everybody. So the Tower of Grief is part of a settlement that runs in here, it looks like. Alright. We're not going to worry about it. That feels like Trutch Craventail's problem. Convoy dispatch is available. Did you run your course already, or? Well, I still think we need labor. Did I miss this finishing? Oh, what do I do? That's the wrong button. I want, ideally, ideally dollars for labor is the deal that I would like to strike. And honestly, that's pretty good. Just go ahead and dispatch them. It turns out we're gonna have a hard time. We're gonna have a hard time keeping up with the labor requirements of even one region that's gathering raw materials. It's tough to imagine how you would maintain much more than that. So what are the armies of Pig Barter up to? They're not tricked by my ambush. I can't... What are they doing? They're just wandering apart for no reason? Alright, the Disciples of Ashut have taken a seat. Let's go ahead and commit this before I forget. Then we gotta remember to keep coming in and checking on these so that I remember to build the order building once it's available to do. If I were to attack you there, you are outside of reinforcement range for the city. Which means actually what we do is we just take the settlement, right? Fuck these guys. So they have a fair number of just like standard orc fighting units. Not terrible, not the worst. These nasty skulkers are very good backstabbing troops. They punch through armor very easily. They have a couple of snotling pump wagons with spiky rollers. Just like a chariot, essentially. Yeah, I think we can handle this. So I'm just going to roll up. They've left Pig Barter mostly undefended. We are going to take it from them. Pretty easy battle. Let's take it as a factory, because once again, I don't know that we have the labor income to make use of any more raw material generation at the moment. Yes, they did see through my ambush. You've got a point there. Alright, and we have killed so many enemies. 5,000 extra gold, 25 more conclave influence, and all of that spell mastery. And we are headed toward this long years of exile thing. What do we want first, though? Probably just money and raw materials, right? This other stuff matters for sure. But yeah, let's take the economic benefits first. Alright. So all they have left is turning around and coming after us because they need to reestablish a control of a settlement somewhere quickly. We're gonna set up this trade good. And I might cut the weapons workshop, honestly. We'll leave it for right now. Convoy Overseer continues to level up. Just kind of off in the nowhere doing whatever. And I don't think we have any immediately pressing upgrades here. Okay, you know what? An entirely money-based upgrade that gets us access to better melee units. It's totally worthwhile. Alright, once we've dealt with this, it's time to move the quest forward. And we can worry about what is further south later. Just want to make sure that we get rid of the only faction that's currently at war with us. Yeah, you don't really have the terribly unhealthy garrison that was just put in place is going to be completely annihilated by this battle, but so is this player, so I think it's okay. And absolutely that is so many bodies. One thing that's really nice about a very small infantry heavy force like this is it's just a lot of total enemies. So you get things like 400 captures. Absolutely. Turn the whole army into labor. Oh, right. I should probably pick a seat. Ah. Okay, for some reason there are undead. I guess we should go handle that. We were headed in that direction anyway. So we're just gonna full run over here. All the stuff to the south is elf stuff. Except for Darkhold, which probably belongs to the Skaven, would be my guess. Maybe not. If it doesn't, there's a landmark building here. Physical resistance plus 10 for... I'm assuming that's 10%. A raw 10 points off of every attack actually would be a really big deal. Alright, we need 2 skill points in the previous box. Yeah, improvements for my infernal units. Plus 15 bonus versus infantry for... yeah, wow. Man, that's good. That's a very powerful skill. Alright, let's run over here and see what this undead problem is about. We have so many problems just sort of stacking up. Do we need additional ammunition? You only have 45 shots per battle. Yeah, let's take some extra ammo here as we move forward. Extra powder is just like for our other units. Well, it is tough to get these. There we go. It's just a flat damage boost. Effect range 35 meters. Okay, so this affects all of the shooty units within 35 meters. That's pretty solid. Definitely a thing worth pursuing. And we also want to recruit something to fill that empty slot. We just lost a unit of goblin laborers, and I think we're going to replace them with something a little bit hardier, probably. Just the littlest bit. Actually, maybe I want you to handle... What is this exactly? This is a battle related to the Hellshard amulet. So actually, it almost certainly has to be Drazoth who does it. Alright, well then I think what I'm going to do is have the armies more or less just switch positions. Thank you. The Moon Howlers are indeed dead. There's a lot of status messages popping like just a little bit later than you would expect. Yeah, I'm gonna have this army come down to Pig Barter and start worrying about like Darkhold and the elves and whatnot, while Drazoth turns around and deals with some quest stuff. Okay, and now we can indeed spend our raw materials on other stuff. Let's go ahead and pursue that. May as well pursue the upgrade here as well. We managed to remain very slightly positive with 2 armies, as long as they're both full of, you know, mostly kind of garbage troops. Alright, let us remember to enter the tower. So nothing in tier 2 is open just yet. We will actually be opening up tier 2 with our placement here, unless... I don't actually value either of these things. We're allowed to usurp existing seats after a period of time. Would I rather do that? Is there one that I want to take away from people? Honestly, this one's pretty cool. I'm assuming the Disciples of Hashut will be very annoyed with me if I do it. What I'm kind of thinking, though, is maybe it makes sense to just sit on influence until one of the other factions claims one more seat and opens up the next tier, and then we just dump influence into the next tier immediately. So let's do that. Let's just hold Conclave influence for the moment. And for the moment, there is nobody at war with me, I believe. All right, yep, somebody went ahead and did it. The tier 2 seats have unlocked. That's the wrong button. Here we go. So these are 150 each. What do they do exactly? Army ability, blood, and fireborn. It's not clear to me if this is available on just our main army or on all of our armies, but extra Kadai is cool. Unit capacity +1 every 4 turns for a randomly chosen Bull, Centaur, Kadai, or Flying Monsters unit. That's really interesting. A Flame and Shadow bombardment spell. So yeah, the unit capacity gains seem like a really good buy early on. And then, yeah, there's a lot of, like, army abilities, a lot of bonuses to help you fight stuff. Construction time down for all buildings is pretty cool. +1 conclave influence from each factory building. Also interesting. Man. Okay, there's good stuff in this tier. Where are we at on one? Okay, it's going to be a couple of turns.
Move him!
That's cool. We'll step to right here and just wait a turn. Do this when we are mostly healed up. And you are headed south. I think the first thing we do is go to Darkhold. Darkhold is showing as still being chaos corrupted. So maybe it's not held by the Skaven. Maybe it is just empty. It's not actually impossible. Right, a little bit more spice for the trade markets. And what do we want to do with our 1,000 raw materials here? Next level up, there is... okay, a pretty decent recruitment building here. What about this stuff? We don't have a Kadai building yet. So, right, I didn't build a demon smithy in the Haunted Forest. No, I didn't. All right, I think that's a reasonable purchase here. And then the next slot is the one, the next slot we're saving for the other landmark. And at this rate of armament production, we'll still be able to go through with that 500 armament research next turn. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty okay about that. I'm feeling a lot more secure down in our little corner of the world here now that we have 2 armies. Convoys encounter the Guide. A guide has tracked down our convoy, offering to lead the way to our destination in exchange for a reasonable donation to his pockets. His price is, frankly, extortionate, but as they say in business, time is of the essence. This is not extortionate. Go ahead and pay. That's only 500 gold. All right, so we finished that research, and we're not ready for Arms Monopoly yet. This seems like a fine time to just go grab Boiling Blood Sacrifices. And then we have lots of useful stuff we can push on to from there. Wait, whose territory is this? This belongs to the Fortress of Vorag, I see. And we don't have... with the Skaven player, do I have military access? I don't think I do.
See, many storm vermin.
No, and he's not interested in giving it to us either. Also, he's kind of turning around on us a little bit here. Concern. Mostly I'm worried about losing our only real trading partner. But alright, we'll go down this way. We're never going to be friends with this elf player anyway, so I guess I kind of don't care if we annoy him by moving an army through his territory. I think I'm going to hold off on this because I do want to put together the raw material for that technology. And I think this army is just about ready to do the thing. Let's go earn ourselves a Hell Shard amulet. Really? Close defeat, you think? Okay, you know what? I will say that is a lot of... It is a lot of skeletons of various types. So, in this first wave, there's some decent grave guard, some crypt ghouls. Yeah, maybe we do want to peel back here a little bit and upgrade this army some more. The Black Knights are like pretty serious. They have a Vargulf, which is like basically a giant monster, a giant monster bat thing that cannot fly but is terrifying in every other way. Then there's a Cambrian War Sphinx and a Hyro Titan. Yeah, okay, all right. Hold on, we might want to just head over to the Black Fortress for a minute and prep some improvements to this army. The laborers probably need to go. We're gonna have some armaments ready next turn. I don't know, that's tough. We need time to build up more units to... Yeah, we might just have to wait on this quest for a bit. Convoys encounter some ogre mercenaries. I mean, hell yeah. Following a great conflict in the realm of chaos, aspects of the 4 chaos gods appear before us in turn, offering the souls of captured demons, which could be used to further the development of our sorceress creations, the Kadai. In return, they require mortal armaments, so that each may turn the tide of war against the other. Could this be a trap? What should we do? Well, I don't have the spare armaments to give to most of them. We could take the Nurgle buff, because Nurgle doesn't want as many improvements as everybody else. Plus 500 barrier hit points to all units in all armies is definitely interesting. Get a bunch of chaos corruption in all of our provinces, though, which would for sure cause a bunch of order problems that I don't think we can afford. Or we could just go our own way. Yeah, this buff is way less good, and, you know, the chaos gods might be mad at us in the long term, but I don't really think we can afford to do the other option. Alright, got ourselves some boiling blood sacrifices. We do not actually know what army of dwarves awaits us here. I suppose we can go find out, though. Oh, this looks much more handleable. So, a lot of the basic dwarf melee unit, notice 85 armor and the good shields and 40 melee defense. Not very good at killing, extremely good at surviving. Then they have some quarrelers, and they have a couple of artillery units that we're going to want to take down really quickly. But also, we're getting reinforced by some garbage at some point during the battle. We can handle this. I'm pretty confident about this one. And then we'll recover while upgrading our army for the other quest battle. So Dwarves of the West have sent a throng against us, but they're really not sending their best. Oh, apparently our labor reinforcement army starts between us and the enemy as well, which is interesting. Also, unfortunately, dwarves have natural magic resistance. All dwarf units have a little bit of, it's like 25%, I think, resistance to magical damage types. So our great big hammer is not going to be of optimal use here. Ooh, we get to see our Bale Taurus really in action for the first time. 69 melee attack with 85 charge bonus. Drazoth is actually a complete terror in charging melee now that we're on this thing. And honestly, I feel like our setup here is approximately appropriate, except that there's no good reason for these units to be this far back. Actually, they should probably be a little bit further forward than the melee. Alright, so. Dwarves have been uncovered at the Great Drill. They will make a great sacrifice. Alright. Run our good Chaos Dwarves right up the side here. They have 28 speed, so I want to make sure. I'm not going to give the Kadai Fireborn quite as much of a forward move order because I don't want it to reach the position long before we're actually ready. I think we want to set up our ranged on like sort of a flank over here. Okay. And then, to be perfectly honest with you, just kind of forward with a lot of the melee in a pretty unorganized fashion. You're going to cut this way with the Chaos Dwarves. And you, I have no idea what we're going to do with you. 95 speed, man. I'll tell you what I want to do. I want to use Drazoth to pick off the Dwarven artillery. We have to be a little bit cautious. Ouch. A single goblin caught a cannonball there, it looks like. We have to be a little cautious not to get, not to make like landfall in a place where enemy dwarves are just going to turn around on us immediately. But honestly, it looks like this is going to be very safe. Alright, so we have... Yeah, Graven Scepter yourself. Let's get some buffs up. This was a charge speed bonus, which I probably should have used, but whatever. Already just absolutely tearing this thing apart. Does it make sense to throw in... Like, I don't know that we have a large-scale debuff that really adds up here. We can at least nuke the melee defense of, like... What is our allied lord fighting? It's just like this group of dwarf warriors, it looks like. Let's just go ahead and burn their stats. And my units are totally... We're getting there. We're going to... Someday, we're going to be in support position. Honestly, this side of the battlefield feels like it's going to collapse first. I'm going to try this this new Cinder Blast shell. Let's see what this looks like. Okay, it's neat how it arcs up like that and then comes back down. So we have additional dwarves coming in from behind. Gyrocopters, which are exactly what they sound like. They're actually not very good at air-to-air combat. You can see 6 melee defense there. So I think this will be a Drazoth problem when they get closer. Yeah, that Cinder Blast shell is pretty neat. Our ranged units are just getting into position now. Still got some distance on this. I think we can afford to have the Kadai run ahead now. Try to wrap this situation up as thoroughly as possible before the reinforcements arrive. Those gyrocopters are fast, though. They're going to get here quick. All right, Drazoth, take off. We can just kind of push around the side with some of these units. It looks like, honestly, our allies are holding their own in a way that I was really not expecting. I kind of thought our allies would collapse pretty quickly, and then we would like pick up the slack afterward. But that's not really how it's going here. So the hobgoblins should definitely just go after the enemy archers directly. And let's have these units of Chaos Dwarf Warriors cut around here. I want the Kadai killing those cannon crews. And Luktaz. Honestly, it's just going to turn around and shoot gyrocopters for a moment here. So let's commit these 4 to a target. I guess burn those quarrelers down. And I'm actually going to have the gunners run even deeper, I think. Let's see if we can get into a position where we can cleanly fire into the flanks of the enemies. Okay, yeah, those gyrocopters are going to go to pieces very quickly. The cannon crews think they can just reclaim this, huh? Honestly, actually, they're not even really trying to reclaim the cannons. It looks like they're just running into melee themselves. Well, I don't know if that's a good plan. Let's have the Kadai run through here. What is this? We don't know exactly, but it's going to come through directly on top of Luktaz. You know what, Luktaz, why don't you maybe move up a little bit there, buddy? I'm not really sure what we're about to face. I'm going to have a unit of Chaos Dwarf Warriors fall back. Let's try to clean up whatever's coming out here quickly. One of the gyrocopters is down. The others are breaking and running. All right, well, I see more gyros.
Stalk them!
Let's make that an immediate concern.
Get going! Unbox them as Elgi!
These are just miners. So stop and turn around. Give him one of these. I think our needs have changed a little bit here. Wow, okay. Never mind. Just fall into firing shape right here, because apparently there's just going to be an infinite number of enemy units coming from everywhere. Jesus. All right. Yeah, Cutthroats stay in on these miners. Chaos Dwarves stay in on these miners. Most of the enemy units back here are broken, as are my Goblin Laborers. We're doing a pretty good job of collapsing these dwarves. We are going to need the Kadai, I think, to report over here quickly. Then we're going to do like some Kadai charges or something into their miners. We just need something to stop these miners. This is a lord. You know what? Try to focus on this guy. Hopefully in a position where the enemies don't just collapse on you. We have enough like total bodies here that this mass of friendly troops should be able to blunt that push. Oh, a thing we can do to help here for sure is throw down that slowing spell, right? Oh, cool. Additional gyros. I really want the rest of our... I really want the rest of these other gyrocopters over here defeated before we turn around. Before we turn Drazoth back around, I mean. But... So they brought in a gyro bomber with this last group. This thing is even worse at defending itself in melee combat in the air, but obviously it does do that bombing thing, which is very annoying. Hurry, hurry. Let's drop a little fire breath on these guys as we pass. I'm gonna go handle this quickly. Yeah, good first strike. The Lord's going down pretty quickly. We have some fire focused here. Okay, all of the enemy units on this side are giving up. Let's get the Chaos Dwarves through to there. These hobgoblin cutthroats. I mean, we kind of just need somebody to mass up over here. I'm going to try to abandon swamping their lord as well. Yeah, I was a little bit caught off guard by the amount of reinforcements. Okay, chased you off the battlefield. It looks like our allies are figuring it out on most of the gyrocopters, but let's just get this over with. And then we can turn around and do a dive into these enemy troops. Actually, it looks like they're all just going to surrender before we even get the chance. Not all of them. Okay, there we go. There they all go. That was a little bit more challenging than it was represented as. We were not to know about all of the additional expeditionary forces. You know, I'm pretty surprised at how well our goblin laborers did during that. There was the one group that got caught out, but for the most part, they actually fought and got kills and managed to, like, hold steady. We're now at gold ranks. A unit can gain up to 9 bonus experience levels. The first 3 ranks are shown in copper, or bronze probably. Then the next 3 are shown in this sort of silver. And then the last 3, of course, are shown in gold. Our Iron Glaives and Kadai are already in the gold ranks. The Hobgoblins are halfway through the silver ranks. So this army's coming together. We've got a unit of laborers that has been alive long enough to get to the silver ranks, which is cool. And it's got to be labor, right? We want to take them all and make them work. Yeah, these other bonuses are hardly worth anything. And we've unlocked another unit of blunderbusses, which Drazoth will probably immediately take. The great drill of Hashut needs to be primed before operation can commence. Pardon me. Gathering and desecrating the artifacts of the traitorous ancestor gods will grant the Great Drill enough power to descend into the depths and bore through the mantles of rock into Hashut's domain. Once the relics are found, however, temptation and hubris must first be overcome. Personal fame, reverence, and sorcerous might are things not so easily passed up by the Drothshar, although it is worth noting that you would get considerable personal fame from being the person who drills through into Hashut's realm. Just saying. Okay. So, use the 4 corrupted ancestor relics to provide power to the Great Drill to unlock the final battle. That does not seem all that distant from now. Maybe this is going to turn out to be a lot harder than I'm thinking, but yeah, just turn around, get back in the direction of our own stuff here. Take those long years of exile and then go learn that spell. I mean, of course I wanted the one that has the big hammer on it first, right? I don't think that's terribly surprising. So how do we find them? So there are... Once attained, ancestor relics you choose to claim for yourself will appear here. Relics you choose for the Great Drill will appear here. So they do different things, and we don't exactly know what. Well, the Lesser Ancestor Relic of Skavor is in our own backyard. That seems like it should be very acquirable. Alright. Inspect the Darkhold. It turns out they're escaping here.
Captured in battle. The Western kin are slaughtered one by one and offered as sacrifice to Hashut, the father of darkness. The great bull god is pleased with the savage offerings and reveals the locations of 8 dwarfen relics.
Okay, that was obviously supposed to fire immediately upon completion of the battle. No, do not attack. Do not attack Clan Rictus. They're cool. I just wanted to be sure. So we're not quite going to make it back to Pig Barter. All right, so we've got this slot open. There's got to be a building that gives us some decent amount of order, right? There's some decent amount of control. We could get control +3 with another +1 for all adjacent provinces from Tower Roads. Is that it? This reduces the chance of plagues and Skaven undercities. This just gives a garrison. Yeah, okay, I guess the tower patrols building is the one. All right, so we're going to want to pursue that, and we're going to want to put one up in the Dragon Fang Mount as well to try to like level off our control problems. And then we are also going to want to research arms monopoly this turn. That'll cover most of our raw materials. And I don't think... Oh, we have 150 control, or 150 influence. So we should definitely grab one of these. And it should for sure be one of the unit capacity buffs, right? I'm going to take Conscriptor first, because this is the one that we'd be able to take advantage of immediately. We'll get the other one too, eventually. Alright, 615 armaments to build the ability to get more Kadai.
Razov is Victraza.
We're able to pull 1,000 raw materials out of the ground every turn, even with just the outposts we have. So I'm not thinking that that's too much of a problem. We need to focus on our armament generation speed more than anything else. Did we send Skulf this far west? I guess I must have. I didn't really look at where he was going, just what he was getting from it. Alright, so Convoy Cartographers is an extra active convoy, and that feels like a thing we should immediately pursue, right? You want more convoys as quickly as possible. So wait, how do we actually access the thing? There's a lord down here. So there are few more far-fetched tales of the Dawe weaklings than that of the exiled ancestor Scavor, son of Gazul, who it is told molded his flesh and became an enemy of his own people. One artifact associated with him, said to contain as much potential as the other ancestor god relics, is being used as a ceremonial trinket by a wayward horde of Lustria. So there is a sacred host of Tepak over here that has a thing. If we claim it for ourselves, we get the runic braces of Scavor. Big replenishment rate boost, 20% physical resistance, and a passive healing effect. And a bunch of conclave influence. Or if we put it in the drill, all of our armies get the replenishment rate boost. Well, I feel like we'd want to put this one in the drill, right? This is definitely a very impressive bonus, but all of our armies having that improved replenishment rate feels really big. Plus, you know, empowering the drill is how you win. So yeah, I think this is your job now. You are sailing out to recover this. And the main army will, you know, hang out for a while. So the Hellforge has a notification over it. It looks like we did get another blunderbusses bonus, I think. Okay, so we have some extra ammo if we want to take that bonus. I think at the moment we are still so short on armaments that we don't want to enable any of this stuff. Alright. So in theory, we have one normal blunderbuss slot open, plus we can take the... I'm just going to go ahead and kick all the laborers.
Is rinkus na disban.
We also have access to some Infernal Guard here. Right, great weapons over the shielded ones. The Great Weapon Guard have 15 bonus versus infantry and still 55 defense. Although I guess the normal Infernal Guard also have 15 bonus versus infantry. So it's just a matter of like how much armor piercing you're doing. Well, you know, I think the great weapons are going to be relevant against the undead army that we're potentially going up against here. So we can do those recruits. And then it's like, the question is, I think, do we want to upgrade unit caps a little bit? We just picked up this bonus for Infernal Guard. Well, this is where the plus 15 bonus versus infantry is coming from. So I was going to say, like, this is definitely, this feels like the thing. This is the wrong button entirely. We have so many buttons here. It would be pretty expensive. We don't have the ability to research or to bring in Iron Sworn. We wouldn't want to run any of this stuff anyway. But I do kind of want more Infernal Guard. Especially, I think they're going to be very good in this undead battle. So we'll grab another unit of those. Then we have the we have this unit coming in. So we really have one more slot left in this army. And it can't be anything terribly impressive. But it could just be like another unit of Hobgoblin Cutthroats, which I think I would rather have than the laborers we kicked out, certainly. So yeah, we'll just hang out for a couple of turns, improving the output of this army somewhat, and then we will deal with this undead battle. How many turns until we're ready to upgrade this? 2 more. Alright, I'm excited about having another caravan. I think we're going to be able to do some great things with that. 2 caravans running and bringing back... Okay, cool. Bringing back large amounts of labor is what I was about to say. Feels like it could solve the labor problem for us in the long term, which is very significant. Guess we could push up like blunderbusses. Yeah, maybe actually, hold on. I'm going to do that. I'm going to push up blunderbusses. I'm going to unhire that unit of hobgoblins that I just hired. Yeah, we're just going to end up with 4 units of blunderbusses in this army. They do mostly armor piercing damage, right? Yeah, so even against the more heavily armored, like the War Sphinx and the giant that we're going to have to fight, they should be able to hold their own. And over here, we can see a little bit of this army. Sacred Croxagore, a Bastillodon with a solar engine on its back. This is actually like a pretty serious dinosaur army, potentially. Let's try to get closer. I don't think they should be able to reach us from there. I want to see if we can get vision. Get maybe a little bit better sense what's in that stack. It looks like for the moment, the answer is no. All right, that's 1,500. We can do that next turn. Our convoy continues to improve. Yeah, let's buff up the ability for the convoy units to heal. Just in case we get, you know, a tough sequence of events. And then I think we're good for this turn. It does seem like maybe it's not going to tell us. I'm not sure if we gained I think we gained a unit capacity on that first turn that we took that seat, and it didn't tell us explicitly what was gained. We just had to go and notice. That is not how I want that to work. Okay, so 250, and then also another 1,500. That should get our control problems settled. I'm a little leery of running too far forward here. Alright. Mission issued. Crush this foe. If you do so, all your armies will gain leadership and you'll get some money that you don't really care about. Although I guess our income has gotten pretty poor with our troop upgrades. Proper Chaos Dwarf warriors are really expensive. So I do want to do this battle. We do it on labor. We're gonna drop below our workload threshold next turn, so I guess I don't want to do too much here. We can probably change this. We're not going to be doing a lot more recruiting in this province in the immediate future, so maybe we do just bump it to like plus control or something. Yeah, just try to keep it locked down. Plus, like, you know, raising control does also reduce the rate at which we lose labor and stuff. So it would be cool if we could get that number up a little higher. I think I want to save this for next episode. I don't think I want to take this on after the 50-minute mark here. Can we see how much movement they have? Okay, it's not very much. They do not sail quickly. We can probably get closer and potentially get a little bit more. Wow, no additional information at all. I mean, I do want to fight them. Let's back up a little bit. We can, I'm sure, challenge them from over here next turn. And then, yeah, I think we're going to go for this, but I think I want to do that next episode. So, just a tiny bit early, that is where we're going to call it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When you return on the morrow, we have so many undead to put down. You know, one thing I really love about this game is just the raw number of different kinds of undead units there are now. This is a very diverse group of skeletons and living statues and whatnot. And we are absolutely just going to annihilate every single one of them. It's going to be great. Come back for that, and we'll see you then.